Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to Granblue Fantasy. We're picking up today now outside of the on-rails experience of the opening tutorial and on the account that I've normally been playing on. You'll see we're currently inside the class selection screen, and we're looking at the fighter class, which is what we're going to be using throughout Chapter 1 of our adventure. My plan there is to switch off to different classes, so in Chapter 2, we'll switch to the knight, for example, and sort of experience each of those. Have a little bit of time to talk about them and experience them during gameplay. Now, you are going to see that I'm level 20 right now, instead of level 1, of course, when starting out, but that's not actually going to give us as large of an advantage as you might think, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as it becomes appropriate in the party window. So for the fighter class, I want to go over the skills first of all. The fighter is, basically what you might expect the fighter to be. We can look at his class stats here. As he levels up, he keeps getting more and more bonus to attack. So just a straight out offensive kind of character class, doing more and more damage as he gets higher and higher level. At max level, he gains this master bonus, which then we gain across all of our classes, that we always gain that plus 1% to our attack, which is why you're going to want to level up all of the classes eventually, as you gain master bonuses for each of them, and they make, regardless of which class you're in, just a better player overall. You're going to see here the characters of the fighter, or the character skills of the fighter, are the full arsenal and rage. Now, full arsenal he starts with, and then rage he learns at level 10, so we already have it, of course. Full arsenal, fill up charge bar, you just use it, you instantly have a full charge bar. With a 5-turn cooldown, it works pretty well to just kind of gain your charge bar naturally, and then on the turn immediately following, when you would use your charge attack, you can full arsenal to use your charge attack a second time. You can also use this to better sort of sync up for multiple characters in your party, like getting their charge attack on the same turn, or if you just need that little extra oomph to get a charge attack a turn or two early, because it's going to kill something or it's going to break something in combat, that sort of thing. Rage, useful. There are several levels of rage, so the base rage, not really something that's going to stick around in the late game, but rage 3, certainly. Just a boost to all parties' attack. Can't beat that. And the support skill is that he's just automatically, intrinsically getting a higher double attack rate than you otherwise would be. So you're also going to see that this rage has a sub sort of badge on it. And what that means is this is a sub skill, and once you have mastered a class, you are then able to use that sub skill on other classes. So that once we've left the fighter, we've got a mastered fighter, we've got rage as a sub skill, we switch on to a knight or a wizard or whatever the case may be, we could decide that we want to use rage on that character class as well, and we'll end up putting that as our sub skill. Now, when you very first start the game, you're not going to have sub-skills for mastering other classes, but I, of course, do. And so I've already equipped Battle Scar here, which I think synergizes pretty well with Full Arsenal, considering that it does elemental damage based on the amount in your charge bar. So I can use Full Arsenal, then use Battle Scar to do damage. Then we get a boost to attack and defense, and we take damage, so you can't just spam it. But we do take some damage for using it. That's really not as bad as it might sound. It synergizes with other abilities later where you do more damage, the more damage you've taken, that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and jump into our party screen, where I've mentioned before, but my intention with this is to sort of keep with a canon build of the characters in our party. What that means is, so far, we've met Catalina and we've met Lyria, and they've joined with us. Now, Catalina, everybody that plays is going to start with. Lyria actually have, due to the 3rd anniversary event, that was the character that was given away for that. She doesn't really fight, but has a bunch of buff-related skills that she can use. And so we'll sort of see those once she gets into combat. She's got some unique mechanics. Her life force is also tied to that of your main character, so that if she's knocked out, so is Red. If Red is knocked out, so is she. Like they're one life force, and losing either of them loses both of them, that sort of thing. Now, you may notice, level 20, my attack values, things like that. This isn't actually going to give me the advantage that you might think it would, depending on kind of how the RPG's engine was set up. The reason for that is, in addition to this character tab, there's also a weapons and a summons tab. So as we pop over to the weapons tab, right now, the only thing I'm using, again, trying to keep with a little bit of the canon story, all I'm using here is a level 1 practice sword, which is just kind of a little wooden sword. It's crap. Like, let's just be honest with ourselves. It's a terrible weapon. Normally, you're going to want to fully equip out 10 weapons in your weapons grid. One of them is going to be the weapon that your main character is actually wielding. The rest, I guess, are supposed to represent maybe the strength of your crew or outfitting, you know, the sort of army that you ultimately end up building in your RPG party with additional things. But right now we have that completely empty, and I basically plan on adding to it, I don't know, as my thought here is as we need the additional attack power to advance, that things will go there. Similarly, our summon grid looks the same, where we would want to add 5 summons to this so that we could use throughout combat. Right now, we only have that Proto-Bahamut that Lyria managed to summon when she saved our life, and that every character starts with. It's giving us a 10% bonus to damage. There's much better things we could put here. And by this stage in the game, the tutorial would have already taken you through your first gacha draw. And so characters or players would already have additional stuff to put both here and here, as well as an additional character, if not much better characters than Lyria, to slot into their party. My intention is just as we gain other characters to start adding them to our party. In a couple of chapters, we'll fill out our third crew member basically, and kind of go from there. One thing that I have given some thought is, you know, exactly how to structure all of these videos. I think early on we're going to spend a lot of time talking about game systems, just because it's going to introduce new mechanics and things like that. And then later on, the fights are going to take much longer than they are up front. One other thing I did want to mention about summons, we're going to see when we start our first chapter, we'll actually be asked to select a support summon from another player online. And for at least the first several chapters, those support summons are basically a one-hit KO for like anything you're fighting. And therefore, any concerns about me being overpowered kind of fall on deaf ears to me, because at least for probably the first 5 chapters or so, those support summons are able to do all of the heavy lifting for any new player. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our quest screen, where when last we left, we had taken off to escape from the Empire in like a small sort of escape airship, and Catalina was piloting. You're going to see here, you know, I have an AP screen and an EP screen. They're both fully charged right now, so I'm totally not gaming the system, and I'm wasting away the recharge rate. One of the things I've always loved about this game is I did not ever feel like I was really being capped by this AP. Early on, you're going to level up almost every single time you get into a fight. It's going to recharge. Later on, this stuff will last me several hours worth of wanting to play the game, and you know, then I need to take a several hour break. That's exactly what I've always wanted, you know, in a mobile gaming experience, so it's never really that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and meet the wind. We're going to go into episode 1. Red's party leaves Zinkenstill and sails through the air towards a new island. The airship suffers serious damage when it crash lands. Red's party encounters a mysterious passerby. All right, so that is going to be our introductory summary. Maybe I shouldn't read those before starting the adventure. There weren't many spoilers, but even the idea that we encounter a passerby. This is the support summon screen that I was talking about. What you're going to see here is from my friends list, we're getting these guys, but then down here, these are, you know, just random people. You're going to get a selection, you know, like I could choose this level 150 Athena, and it would just absolutely curb stomp something in chapter 1 to the point that my own character level or any of that kind of stuff doesn't actually matter. And it won't start mattering until 5 or 10 chapters into the game, where that's really not the case anymore. And then once it falls off, it sort of falls off hard. But let's just go ahead and grab the very first one here. We've got our party slot that I've already kind of set aside for this LP, using party slot 4 here, and we'll get started. It is going to require 5 AP, not so bad. Following its departure from Zinkenstill, the crew heads for a nearby island to prepare for the coming journey. However, Catalina's inexperienced piloting causes the airship to sputter and spit out black smoke before suddenly losing altitude. Yeah, so spoilers, right, from the summary earlier. Basically, our little life pod that Catalina had somehow managed to sneak off of the Empire's ship didn't last us very long. Here on these breezy green fields begins the skywide tale of Red. Ooh, that doesn't look so good. I mean, I think I'm pretty okay. We'll go with just barely. Yeah, what he said. Yeah, I mean, how hard could it be to be a pilot, right? Like, it just looks so easy. And there's going to be our mysterious visitor. The crew cast their eyes to the ship to find a stranger standing next to it. And we like literally started this morning, so that's pretty accurate. Yeah, the part that Catalina clearly took for granted. Helmsmen, you don't say. And with that, the mystery man turns and leaves. So you'll notice we didn't ever get his name, and we get the question marks until after we finally do. Yeah, that someone actually knows how to fly an airship. That might have been a good idea. To town for supplies we go. Alright. Not a bad idea. And this is going to introduce us to sort of an interlude screen, I guess, for lack of a better term. Basically, on here, enemies pop up. All you have to do is just press go repeatedly. It's kind of a mobile game convention, I suppose. You can actually skip this, and I normally would, just by clicking like anywhere in the scene. You'll automatically skip over it, still gaining all of the things, but just to sort of show you what's going on here. Basically, we grabbed a treasure chest from doing it. We grab a satin feather, which is a crafting material from doing it. A flying sprout, another crafting material, so on and so forth. The other thing is we're actually gaining the 10% to our charge bar every time the character who actually does the damage pops out. So like our main character is going to start with 20%. Lyria here is going to start with an extra 10, so on and so forth. And that can actually be quite beneficial to starting harder fights. Yeah. And we're normally shown... and we normally get those kind of interludes when we're actually like traveling or something, like we were just now, traveling to the city. Oh, I didn't mean to skip that. So basically, it's dangerous to cross certain parts of the skies. Got it. We want to do that because that gets us out of the reach of the Erst Empire. And wink. Okay. Yeah, baby dragon. Whatever you say. Yeah, thanks for that, Catalina. Yeah, I didn't want to say it out loud, but you know, Vern kind of hits the nail on the head there. The auto scroll is a little inconsistent, it seems, with when it moves on, in my opinion. Alright, we need a ship. We need somebody to fly the ship. We need a map to tell us where the ship is going. Seems pretty straightforward. And we can use those to get around the Grim Basin. I totally skipped something there, but they're talking about getting the map. And the fact that the sky map is guarded by primal beasts. Alright, and combat. So, this combat is actually going to be over in like a split second. One thing I do want to show off though, now that we're actually able to go in here and like use skills. So generally, I'm just going to have the skill check on skip. When we don't have the skill check on skip, then clicking on this brings up a confirmation window where it explains what the skill does. So this is really great, like when you're first starting out and you don't know what all the skills do, or anytime you get a new character and you don't know what their skills do. But once you've learned them, you can go ahead and hit the skip, and then, you know, I know what Battle Scar does because I read about it just a minute ago, and it's going to insta-gib one of these guys. Nothing else is actually like a damaging thing. This is a full party attack up. That's a heal. That's a status resistant veil thing. That's a damage reduction. And similarly, I haven't had Lyria super long. This gives everybody like a dodge shield. This gives everybody a attack and critical up. And this gives a not just healing, but also regeneration cast. So all in all, good stuff. The reason I'm not using any of that is I do just want to demonstrate that if we go in here and we just use our support summon, we would like instantly mop the floor with everyone using just this. And this is going to keep up for the first several chapters. So, you know, it's chapter 1. You're level 1 in an RPG. It's not really designed to be that hard yet. Later on, you know, I've hit some serious brick walls when moving through the chapters, but we're not at that point yet. So I don't think any advantage that we have from just how strong our characters are is really that much of one. You'll see we get a loot screen, we get, you know, a little bit of XP, a little bit of rupees, that sort of thing, and we can head back to the quest screen where normally when you're playing, if you're not replaying this stuff, it would then ask you, you know, if you wanted to continue and just play the next part. But since we've already done it, I'm going to have to manually select each of the steps. So we'll head into chapter 2 now, and we'll do exactly the same thing. I think I might end up mixing it up with like 2 parts of the chapter, and then calling it for the episode. So like after this next fight, Red's party stops into the Knick-Knack Shack to prepare for their journey across the sky. And this would all still be actually in the tutorial. This is our initial meeting of Sirikart and gaining our first weapon grid and all that kind of stuff. Basically, Sirikart acts as the all-in-one job board and merchant throughout the game. The Knick-Knack Shack. And they are oh so tiny. And I have a giant like parakeet bird. Anybody a bird connoisseur wants to tell me what that is? I've decided I'm actually just going to kind of talk over the cutscenes, especially with the frustration from when the auto scroll moves forward. Yep. Don't underestimate the tiny tyke. So I think the kind of running joke is that we keep running into Sirikart, like, throughout our entire journey. That she's just everywhere, on every island, always running every shop. And so... and clearly they're into some shady dealings, because they mistook our initial ask for help as like, oh yeah, smuggling, I know all about that. Oh, no, we just wanted a helmsman. Most are out on other business, but thankfully Sirikart knows everyone. Almost every helmsman. There's gotta be somebody still out there, right? And what about Yuno? I mean, I'll take Yuno. I mean, Rackham. He's good. I kind of question, like, what... Okay, if Rackham is a helmsman, like, what happened to his previous crew? They seem to all insinuate that there's, like, something wrong with him that I don't remember them ever clarifying the first time I played. If you want to get bit, that's how you get bit. I don't know. I don't think I'd piss off even a 2-foot tall dragon. Like, I feel like would be intimidating. Unless, of course, Viren just gets cuter when he gets mad, in which case, then maybe he's not that intimidating. Doing who knows what. Okay. Fair enough. So there's like a landed airship that Rackham seems to own with no one else on it. I mean, it's awfully convenient, like, for plot purposes, don't get me wrong. And so again, we're going to get another windswept journey, sort of run along, kill all the things. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and skip this. We got some pretty cool things. Also, you can get cuts from the summoning time of your summons from in there. So basically, they're just random bonuses and some crafting loot every time. Indeed it does. I'd never really questioned the background of Rackham before, but... but our ship crashed there. So what does Rackham have an airship landed in the middle of the Highlands for? Like, what happened to the previous crew? Was he a member of said previous crew? Did he buy the airship? Yeah, exactly. Like, you're supposed to anchor ships, not like land them in the middle of fields. Like, I say that like I just knew that, of course. Okay, I get it. We gotta find the guy. I'm totally for finding the guy. Insert random combat here. The game is also sort of notorious for doing this when it can't find an excuse for, like, why you should be fighting anything. Like, there's just combat peppered throughout the story all the time. To kind of contrast with what it looked like when, you know, I just randomly attacked there, this is what my actual, like, normal combat would look like. Again, basically killing everything in one hit. Catalina did actually land a double attack there, which is the only reason that worked out, but you get the idea. It's the combat early on is definitely nothing that is designed to be a challenge, because you don't have any options. It's not like you could be like, oh, well, I approached that wrong, let me sub out different characters and change my weapons grid. You know, none of that happens this early. Later on, when you do have tactical choices about what you can do, the game is certainly less forgiving in the way that the combat is structured. Yeah, 25. I tell you what, let's go ahead and break Chapter 1 up here. We'll do a Part 2 in the next episode. Right now, we're kind of searching for Rackham, the helmsman of an airship that's just landed in the middle of the Highlands on this island for no discernible reason. And, I mean, I think... like, I see where this is going, obviously, but I think it's pretty obvious where this is going, that, like, we have a broken down ship, we need a person that can fly a ship, also we could probably use a new ship, so I think all of those things are going to kind of come together. We just need some excuse for why Rackham would possibly want to join us, and the expectation would be that we will get those in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and again, the game's mechanics are going to kind of continue to unfurl as we move further and further along into the story. So if you're not quite as sold on it as I am, I might ask that you bear with me for a little bit. And I'm going to try to make these episodes a little shorter and more digestible going forward. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to subscribe. There's lots more on the channel. You can leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other videos, and I will catch you guys next time.